If you thought Jalen Hurts was fantastic this past year, then you are in for something special. According to reports, he is already getting better. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy the show. Be sure to subscribe. Also, ring the bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. RB back, bringing you another one from the link. And today we have some new developments, some new reports, and apparently the inside sources, the inside people are very, very high on Jalen Hurts because yet again, he's about to take another monumental leap. Can you believe it? This guy is on the rise to the top. Maybe he's already there. But before we jump into that and a lot of other Eagle reports and news, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA. Receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's start off the day with just a little tidbit of news coming from the Eagles camp. This was yesterday. The Eagles announced that they will have 2 joint practices this year, one against the Cleveland Browns and former defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, and then against the Colts and former offensive coordinator, now their head coach, Shane Steichen, both at the NovaCare complex. Will be interesting to get some footage and insight from those practices, so we'll see how it goes. But a couple huge things are taking the reign today. We had the footage a few days ago from Eagles OTAs, Eagles practice. We'll probably get one other practice, I believe, this upcoming week where we'll get some inside footage, so we'll take a look at that. But according to the inside sources, Jalen Hurts is expected to make a huge jump in his development. This report put on Twitter, shout out to Dov Kleiman. He says, quote, "They believe he can be one of those elite precision type pocket passers." This comes from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who has some inside sources and friends within the team. He also notes that DeAndre Swift's contribution is expected to be more than maybe you'd expect. DeAndre Swift coming over, still very young, a hometown kid, and Eagles got him on my opinion, a discount of a trade. I think they got him on a bargain, but I'll leave that opinion for you out there. But anyway, let's take a look at the article, right? Because what does this mean as it relates to Jalen Hurts, right? We saw him this past year take obviously a huge jump, leap himself into MVP consideration. But at the end of the day, man, the fact that he's still so young, he just became the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, got his team to a Super Bowl, and obviously, the personality traits, it's all there, right? It's the full package for Jalen Hurts, but he still has so much room to grow. And I think this past season, we got a glimpse into really the elite talent he can be, right? Especially because he keeps putting in the work. But that's the main thing when it comes to Jalen Hurts. He's never going to stop working. And again, according to sources here, the Eagles are expecting him to take another jump. What will that look like? Because obviously he was so dynamic. He made this offense almost unstoppable, not only in the air, but the way he was running the football, breaking all kinds of records. Right? Each of the last 2 years, he's jumped his completion percentage up, 9% and then 5 percentage points this last year, all the way up to 66.5%, and when you think about the future, right? Maybe the Eagles don't want him to run the football as much. I don't think you can ever take that full element out of his game because that's partially what makes him, so special. But thinking about injuries, thinking about all that stuff, especially now that you've invested into him for many years, you have to think about these things, and you need him to develop as a passer, continue developing, and it was almost near perfect this past year, but man, I mean, it is going to be insane to see what he's able to do after another offseason of breaking it down, understanding, and all that stuff. Even in the Super Bowl, he threw for over 70% completion. He had an amazing game. Obviously, the one disastrous mistake that hurt the Eagles, but he will learn from that going forward. But here in the article, Jeremy Fowler shares the Eagles' belief that Hurts has consistently displayed improvement throughout his career and has the potential to develop into an elite precision pocket passer. I mean, we saw the way he was able to hit some of these deep throws, some of these seam routes, just anything, man, even out of the backfield. Like, all of his throws were so sharp this past year. I don't think anybody ever saw it coming that way, that fast. But the way he was able to develop, lock in his mechanics, we saw the video the other day, just, putting on weight, and just his technique even looks better already. And I would only expect it to continue to grow. And there's no reason that looking forward maybe 2, 3, 4 years that this guy can't be a guy who throws for 43 touchdowns, right? Why not? And then when you give his, dynamic ability to also put it on the ground and run and dip and dodge defenders, I mean, he almost becomes unstoppable as long as he stays healthy on the field. Fowler comments during an appearance on Get Up, shedding light that the Eagles have high expectations for their young signal caller. They expect him to make another jump. He's done it every year. They believe he can be an elite precision type pocket passer. And then he talks about some of his stats. His quarterback rating soared from 87.2 to 101.5 this past year. And he showcases talent in the Super Bowl, 4 total touchdowns, 374 total yards, achieved a quarterback rating of 103.4, 71% of his passes in the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. And then Fowler also comments on DeAndre Swift, who again is only 24. He had, a season a couple years ago with the Lions, his second year after being a second round pick, where, he had 1,000 total yards between the running back on the ground game and then also out of the backfield. So, he can catch passes. We saw some of the footage of him, number 0, DeAndre Swift. And it says no Eagles running back has recorded more than 23 catches during the 2022 season. And Swift, who previously played for the Lions, has proven himself as a dynamic receiver, accumulating over 50 catches in a year. It is going to bring a new element to this Eagles offense, a new breath of fresh air. And, I just like his elusiveness. I think DeAndre Swift can bring a little more explosiveness. I think that competition is going to help that running back room, right? Obviously, you have Gainwell, Boston Scott, who can contribute, here and there. Then you have Rashad Penny. I think Howie Roseman has done a good job of finding some of these diamonds in the rough. And when they traded for DeAndre Swift during the draft, I couldn't believe it. In terms of what they gave up, they barely gave up anything. Detroit kind of gave up on him after they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think Swift is going to find his new home here. Really, it's funny because it is his actual home. And I'm sure he grew up an Eagles fan. So I'm excited to see what he does in Midnight Green. The Eagles just keep getting better. They keep adding more weapons. And honestly, I can't wait to see how it plays out. The last thing I want to talk about is Russell Wilson, because apparently, according to a report that came out yesterday, the Eagles almost traded Jalen Hurts away. That's right. He was in a trade package for Russell Wilson last offseason, but Wilson refused the deal because of his no trade clause to Philadelphia. Commanders made an offer. Wilson refused to go there. He only wanted to go to Denver. Shout out to Jake Rabadai here on Twitter. He put out the proposed trade. Again, this is all rumored, but this would have been the potential proposed trade. Jalen Hurts, Josh Sweat, number 15, number 19, and then in 2023, the first round pick that was used on Nolan Smith, and the 2025 second round pick. Imagine if they would have gave up that haul for Russell Wilson. As he says here, it would have been no A.J. Brown, no Jordan Davis, no Jalen Carter, and wouldn't have traded with New Orleans in 2022. Man, the Eagles dodged a bullet. Jalen Hurts has been everything and more. Wilson had a very, very putrid year, and the Broncos had to kind of reshuffle a little bit. Man, I am glad that this trade did not go through. It almost reminds me of 2016 when the Eagles almost sold the farm and everything to go get Marcus Mariota. So anyway, I am very, very happy about this. We'll see how it plays out. We're going to get more footage as we go. But the fact and just everything we're hearing about Jalen Hurts continuing to develop, not being settled where he's at. He could say, I'm an MVP or MVP candidate now. I'm good. No, he wants to get better, and he is going to lead this team this year. That's why a lot of the players are excited about Jalen Hurts. And just something else on top here to kind of describe the mentality we're hearing about. Reed Blankenship commented on Sean Desai's defense. He says, quote, "We want to be violent. That's our top goal right now." Everybody's hungry. They're motivated. And right now the tone is being set. Still a long way to go, but only good things we're hearing about this Eagles team. Give me all your thoughts down below. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to have a similar type of year, maybe even a better year in 2023? Give me all your thoughts. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.